Hello YouTube, welcome to another Let's Play MechCommander 2. So we just finished the sector occupation mission, where we successfully defended a Steiner base from several waves of attack, and actually did not lose anyone for a nice change of pace. So now we're going to go on to the garrison occupation, where we drop into the out territory and capture some headquarters. So step 1, capture headquarters. Step 2, destroy chemical plant. Step 3, extract. And then also side mission, destroy all enemy units, which I very much would hope to do anyway. So let's see. Seizure of all Liao encampments has been ordered. Neutralization of Liao military facilities that lie on the border of territory. We're dropping into garrison sector, capturing the headquarters, proceeding to destroy chemical plant in operation to the west of the base. Intel analysis: consider base Leo and its nearby chemical processing plant a potential chemical weapons hazard. Such weapons pose a severe threat to unenclosed ground troops and support personnel. Full-scale assault in Liao in space with every lance available. Minefields are in the area, so that's not good. Minefields are very dangerous. However, light units of 35 tons or less do not trigger the mines. And also, I mentioned I used the word lance a second ago. That is basically this right here. A group of 4 battle mechs is generally considered a lance. Clans use stars, which are, if I'm not mistaken, a group of 5 battle mechs. So a clan star is 5 battle mechs. A inner sphere lance is 4. And I'll explain all that in this episode, because I have nothing better to do. Also, you see we have our new catapult and star slayer up here. The Hunchback is a 50-ton battle mech, so I might swap that Hunchback out with the star slayer for a change, particularly since Twitch is a laser specialist, of which this has 2, and the star slayer has 5. I'm also going to modify the star slayer. Ooh, he's got some heat on him, but we might. Let's see here. I do have large pulse lasers, and I can actually swap those 2 large pulse lasers in. Let's see. So a large pulse laser, we're looking at 2 damage and a rate of fire of 5-6. Or it's a rate of fire of 2 and damage of 4. It shoots a lot faster. I mean, a lot faster. What about the laser? That's 2.4 versus 3.5. So yeah, we're better off keeping the regular lasers and swapping out the large lasers with pulses. Get rid of those and bring in a pair of pulses. And honestly, I could pull the jump jets out of the Star Slayer and replace those guys with pulses too. Sorry about the extra Z's there. Like, trying to add plurals on top of S's just kills me. You can ask Phoenix. We had a very interesting time killing a bunch of wasps. Awesome. Alright, so we're actually going to get 2,700 seagulls back because we removed the jump jets. Jump jets are tactically really useful, but I don't use them a whole lot. Okay, so we're gonna save this guy as Star Slayer. Star Slayer. Okay, Star Slayer pulls, because it won't let me put in E. Alright. So there was our Star Slayer, decked out with nothing but pulse lasers and the basic streak SRMs. Alright, and we will swap that Hunchback out with that Star Slayer. Alright, I am curious. Okay, that's not a good looking mech. This variant of the catapult with this particular color scheme is absolutely hideous. But this is why I wanted to grab that catapult. It's got 10 LRM racks. It is essentially a LRM carrier on steroids. Very, very nice mech. I actually have one in a MechWarrior Online, which I have not played in a very long time. Sorry, getting some more coffee. This is the second mission of this playthrough, and I am still exhausted. Alright, so we're going to put Twitch in his Star Slayer now. We will probably find someone else to be in that, whatchamacallit? The Hunchback? Alright, so I'm going to stick with this crew setup for now. 51's, oh yeah, definitely keeping Flash. She's got some pretty good piloting skills. Actually, I am going to swap Slash with Worm, because Worm is a little more balanced than she is. And also because Worm doesn't have as many kills. Alright, so here we go. We're going to use Worm in our Shayu, Meat and Longshot in their Bushwhackers. They should probably have their names on them by now. And Twitch is hanging out in our new Star Slayer. So let's see how this goes. Alrighty. So I do apologize as always for being super long-winded. This time I'm going to talk about the Battletech history, because that is something everybody I'm sure wants to hear about. I apologize if I bore everybody just straight to death in this episode. Alright, we got a vehicle here. But so basically, the Battletech universe follows our actual real-world timeline all the way up until the Cold War. Now, for those of you who are too young to know what the Cold War is, basically, United States and Russia both discovered nuclear weapons were super powerful, and we each had really just all of the nukes aimed straight at each other. With, like, literally, the country's leaders had their fingers over the button, just waiting for the other guy to make the first move. It really was absolutely a terrible situation that could have been just catastrophically bad. Fortunately, somebody came to their senses. Nobody created the end of the world, and everyone ended up disarming. So now Soviet Russia has, well, Soviet Russia doesn't exist anymore, but Russia and America both got rid of a lot of their nukes, and we're no longer, you know, like, trying to kill each other with them.
I got him.
In the Battletech universe, that did not happen. Instead, they kind of shot nukes at each other. And somebody finally was like, whoa, we're being crazy here.
Clean his clock. I'm on it.
So that's where the universe starts to differ. I'm probably going to want to capture this, but I don't know the best way to go about doing so, other than just bum rushing and hoping for the best. So let's do that. Worm is already really taking a lot of damage.
Worm here. Hey, I'm under fire over here.
Okay, Worm is still just taking so much damage here. Get it? Okay, we're safe. Okay, we're not safe. Oh god. Oh, okay.
I copy.
Turrets deactivated.
Oh shit, run away.
Target locked in.
Run away, worm. You are just getting really hurt here.
Long shot
Okay.
here. Copy target.
How is this guy still up and running? Okay, this is not going
Long
well.
shot here. Target locked in.
Target confirmed and locked in.
Clean his clock.
It's me. I got him.
Roger. Clean his clock.
Roger that.
Meanwhile, these guys are heading down towards worm. Yep.
Long shot here. Target locked in.
Alright, so what was I saying?
Switch here. Roger that target.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm on it.
don't know exactly what happened,
Target locked in.
but basically
Come on, come on.
World War III was narrowly avoided,
Long shot here. Copy
and
target.
instead there became a single world power.
Enemy destroyed.
This is what I needed right here. That's probably going to serve me
I
better.
got the building.
Building captured.
Alright, so now we need Worm to come sprinting up here. So Twitch is doing pretty good. Anyway, right, so a single world power was created. Trying to think, I don't really know the history of Battletech all that well. Right, single world power, faster than light technology was eventually created, etc., etc. Humanity spread out throughout the stars. This is where it gets interesting. Humanity...
Worm here. Good to go, boss.
Oh wow, he's at half health and at full repair. He's also... Oh cool, the arm that was blown off contained 0 weapons. That is really fortunate. So humanity spreads throughout the stars and kind of spreads themselves thin a little bit. Wow, okay, there we go. So, right, you still have this one superpower government in control of everything.
Twitch here. Yeah, they're prepared.
The outlying colonies, you know, because they're outlying colonies, they really don't get a whole lot of assistance from said government, so they eventually get to the point where they're like, you know what, we don't need this.
All fixed up.
Which creates something called the Star League, which is basically an interstellar police force. So the Star League is basically dispatched to try to keep these rebel colonies in line. They ultimately fail, not because the rebels are like better by any means, but mainly just they kind of give up. Is what it boils down to.
Roger that. Target confirmed. Roger that.
Like the world is just like the universe is so expansive, it just becomes impossible to police everything. So the outlying states are granted their independence. This creates the inner sphere, and the I can't remember the term
Roger that.
they give them.
Objective complete.
I got the building. Roger.
No, the periphery.
I got it. I got the building.
I don't know. I can't remember the names, but anyway. So you have the inner sphere, which I believe is 6 light years or 60 light years. I think it's 2 standard jumps away from Terra, so like a 6 or 12 light year sphere around the planet Earth. That is the inner sphere. It's around this time, well, the Star League is in full prominence, that the great houses start showing up, that being Steiner and Davian and all of them. Here are our minefields we need to be super duper careful of.
I got him. Affirmative.
How is he still... Okay, guys.
Yeah, enemy vehicle destroyed.
But, Yeah, I'm gonna need to be super careful here. I can use, should be a attack from, or attack this position. Ah, here we are. The F button is a force fire. Ah,
Yeah,
shite.
target locked in.
I copy.
Stop.
Affirmative.
Can I do... Yeah, I can. I can do forced ammo conservation.
Target confirmed and locked
Roger.
So anyway,
in. Yeah, target locked in. Here.
and now we run away a little bit. Because he's a light mech and can just walk right over it, and then we all kill him. But, so the great houses start fighting each other over control of, you know, this, that, and the other. And the,
Destroyed.
that was fast. The Star League steps in to stop the noble houses from fighting, basically. And the noble houses don't like this because basically the Star League is standing in direct opposition of the noble houses' rise to power. So they get real dickish and actually basically dissolve the Star League. That's just a resource building, I don't need it. So they dissolve the Star League and strip Commander Krinsky, I believe his name is. They strip him of his command, and he's basically like, you know what, fuck it. So Krinsky up and leaves.
Twitch here. Roger that target. Roger that.
And decides that he's going to take, or he leads, you know, I think I do have to come get that to take out that objective. No. Heading straight for that minefield. But so Krinsky says, you know what, if I'm going to be treated like this, I'm out of here. So he leads what's called the Great Exodus, where he publicly leaves the
I got him.
inner sphere and takes really almost the entire Star League with him. I think something like 60 or 70% of all Star League members
Commander, I'm taking heat.
basically join into the Exodus, and
Long shot here. Target locked in.
yeah. Sorry, I'm still kind of fuzzy on the history. I don't know it perfectly well.
Roger that target.
So yeah, there's the Great Exodus where Krinsky and like most of the Star League leaves. So at this
Enemy
time,
resources captured.
all of the great houses are like, oh yes, I am the rightful ruler. I'm leaving out, of course, a whole bunch of political assassination and everything else. It's really good history. If you want to look it up yourself, I would strongly recommend. I'll put a link to a page about the Battletech history. I'm giving you the really, really poorly narrated version here. But so Krinsky leaves the inner sphere. The great houses start fighting each other in a series of wars called the Secession Wars, which is basically just everybody really just wrecking their own shit. Okay.
Gotcha, crawler.
We're gonna need to take care of this guy quickly.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
But the Secession Wars are notable because
Enemy
basically
resources captured.
I got the building.
they kind of sort of send themselves back into the Dark Ages.
Long shot here. Target locked in.
I'm on him.
What essentially happens is
I got him.
there's like the war is totally unregulated, so you know people are basically dropping chemical warfare and nukes on each other just left and right
Yeah, enemy vehicle destroyed.
with absolutely no checks or balances in place. I need Worm to get out of here.
Target confirmed. Something, where are you? Roger that. This one's dead.
But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So in the Secession Wars, basically just all of the shit gets wrecked. Like, 100% wrecked. Which is, of course, not an ideal...
Copy target.
Yeah,
Roger that.
not an ideal situation.
I copy.
All of the battle mech technology is basically lost forever. And, well, not all of it, but a lot of it is.
No problem, boss.
The mech warriors themselves basically become like miniature gods of a sort, because, you know, like, there are no battle mechs in production. Like, production facilities are all getting destroyed left and right. So the battle mechs
I'm on it.
become like these enormous...
Captured.
The battle mech...
Yeah, sure, you got it.
What am I trying to say? Basically, mech warriors become like
Enemy resources captured.
really a lot more valuable than they actually are, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Well, that was easy. So, we've still got a couple of enemy units somewhere, it would seem. See, Twitch needs to get repaired. I'm not going to send them all the way over there, though. I'm just going to call in a repair truck right
Hey,
here.
affirmative. Repair vehicle inbound.
Right, so a lot of technology is lost. Basically, it gets down to the introductory board game version of Battletech, where you've basically got just like a handful of autocannons and some basic missiles and lasers, and that's it.
Good to go, boss.
So, eventually, there are small caches discovered of technology. Excuse me there. But yeah, there are some small caches that get introduced.
Objective complete.
Okay. I don't know what I just killed, but I killed something. So now it's time for me to extract. But, okay. This has just been a non-stop rambling. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. So I guess in the next video we'll get into the introduction of the clans, because this mission's pretty much done. You know what? I am actually going to salvage another
Roger
catapult,
that. Silence craft is on its way.
because I've got all these resource points and I really do want another catapult. And I'll take this opportunity to explain the clans, I suppose. Basically, when Krinsky left to the outside of the Inner Sphere, he created the clans, sort of accidentally, which are all genetically engineered, basically straight up war machines. They kept their Starlink technology in like super well taken care of states. So while the Inner Sphere was busy literally just destroying their shit, the clans had like super high-end technology. So eventually the clans came back to the Inner Sphere and just wrecked everything. Yeah. So yeah, we'll start seeing some clan mechs at some point in the game, but clan mechs and weaponry are really just, they outclass Inner Sphere stuff, just tenfold. Clan weapons are almost always better, clan mechs are almost always better, the technology is way advanced. And one of my favorite mechs,
Objective
actually...
complete.
Okay, well, yeah, my favorite mech is actually a clan mech, which is in this game and I will be using.
Mission successful.
Okay, so that was just so much stuff. Alright. So here's that Menshin that I took out earlier. It's a 55-ton mech, so that explains... excuse me, got the hiccups now. That explains why he was so hard to take out. Absolutely just the most hideous of all battle mech designs. He's not pretty. I do not want him either, so we will continue on without. Let's see what my pilots did here. Alright, Longshot was
Mech
promoted to
warrior
veteran.
promoted to veteran.
She is a medium autocannon specialist already. Because her name is Longshot, I would like to give her LRMs. Yeah, excuse me. I don't know why my sinuses are getting all screwed up all of a sudden. Alright, so Meat, I believe, already was veteran, wasn't he? Yes, Meat already was veteran. Steel just basically got a participation award. Worm was injured, which doesn't surprise me as many bullets as he was absorbing. And Twitch killed a guy. Oh, Twitch was also injured, okay. Well, before long, everyone's gonna have a